topic of our business teaching today is business creation and business capital. Before you start a business, you must understand the meaning of business, because a lot of people have misquoted the meaning of business. Business is not just about getting profits. Understand? It's not about getting profit, but business is about creating customer and keeping customer. We have a lot of businessmen and women, but their ideology, their understanding about business is wrong. That's why a lot of them fail. But that's not so. Before you start anything, you must understand the meaning of that. You must understand what that thing is talking about. Because when you have an exact understanding on what something means, you'll be able to navigate any problem coming through it. It's actually funny because a lot of people that want to start business today will tell you, I want to start this business, but I don't have the money, I don't have the cash, I don't have the capital, as they say, to start it. That's why I can't start. But do you know that you can start a business with $0 or $0? Before you start creating business, you must first of all have a business idea. You can't start a business if you don't have the idea. You must first of all have the idea in you. And let me put in mind, because when you are having an idea, you must first of all create the business inside your mind. You must create the exact business inside your mind. See how you want it to be. In creating it, you are creating the business idea, understanding your business idea. Because if you don't know business idea and you want to rush into a relationship, any person you meet cannot invest in you if there is no quality idea that can produce results. So as a young person, as a man or woman, as anybody, and you want to start your business, the first thing that you will first of all do is first of all create business idea. Have a business idea, quality idea that can compel people, that can compel men to invest in you. And for you to have a strong business idea, you must create it in your mind, because everything rises and falls in your mind. So the second one is relationship. After creating your business idea, what do you do to start looking for a relationship? Relationship for what? Not just relationship for people that will give you money alone, but first of all, relationship of assessing all the knowledge, like Mama said, all the body of knowledge that you need. You know, you can't assess that knowledge you need, because this knowledge will also be given to men. Because business is business for men. So this knowledge will only be given to men. For you to get the exact knowledge you need for that business you want, you must first of all get a relationship. Well, means you must first of all find a person, find a mentor that will give you that exact body of knowledge. Because there are people that have already done this business you want to do. Any business person must have a mentor. There you are. Get into your mind that you can't start that business you want to start, just idea. After getting idea, you assess knowledge, body of knowledge, quality producing knowledge. And you can't assess it by yourself. You need relationship. After body of knowledge, it is in that body of knowledge you got information. So information will come together and form knowledge. Then in that knowledge, you get understanding. Because without understanding, you can't apply. So you must understand the body of knowledge in which you have gotten from that your mentor. After understanding, because anything you didn't understand, you can't take action in it. After getting body of knowledge, learning, you must be able to get the discipline of putting into action. You must take the step of action, which is number 5 here. You must take the step of action. Because if you learn something and you have not put it into action, you have not yet learned it. Because learning and knowledge without action is not yet complete. Put in action with determination. Okay, let me take for instance the person that created this bulb. Yeah, when the person did it many times, the first time he did it, it didn't work. He keep on, because you know what made him to keep on doing it, because you have already seen it and understand everything. He has the body of knowledge and he created the discipline to keep putting in action. He failed, keep putting in action till he bet his result. So it is in this action that you bet your result.
Business capital. Then what do you understand by the word business capital? Capital are those things, necessities you need to set in place before starting up a business, which include the information you need to have about that business, the relationship you need to build that is in alignment with the business, the knowledge you need to get, taking actions. integrity. This all falls in business capital. And one of the business capital I will teach you guys is what? Vision. When I say vision, what do you understand by the word vision? Vision means seeing the end result of what you want to do. Seeing the end result of the actions you want to do. You know, most of rich men today, what sustains them in the decision they take is not that decision, but the end result of that decision. Cosmos Mother told us that when he was growing up, that he has the mind of business, that he has business ideas. But he did not have the capital to start up that business. He did not give up. Anytime he visualized himself, seeing the end result of that business is about to start up, he gives him joy. He gives him joy to show him that actually he's going to actualize what he wants. He told us that during his early age in his apprenticeship, that they settled him with just 200 naira. But he did not focus his idea in that 200 naira. He did not focus his mind. That is to say that what you need in starting up a business is not capital. What you need in starting up a business is not capital, but business capital. I've defined business capital for you. That those things you need to have, those information, knowledge, understanding, relationship, that is it. Whenever a man set up a business, but you do not have visions about that business, you are not yet ready to start up your business, because visions is what keeps you going. Regardless of the circumstances you are facing, visions is what keeps you going. Most of the people did not like what they are doing, but because of the visions, they have seen the end result of what they are doing. According to one man in real estate, I've forgotten the name of this man. This man told us that when he was starting up his real estate companies, he used to host seminars or teachings for people. By then, they used to see him as somebody that do not have value. But he sticks his ground because he has seen the end result of where he's going to. So the end result of where you are going will keep you going, no matter what. And regardless of your visions, you must have this attitude called integrity. So integrity is among the business capital. So these are the things you need to absorb when you want to start up a business. As a businessman, your integrity will keep you going. If you don't have integrity in life, you are not yet ready to start up your business. Regardless of all the challenges, regardless of all the amount of money they are about to give to you, but you are not a man of integrity. You are not a man of integrity. You are not stick to your word. You are ready to submit because of a little change. No matter everything somebody will give to you to sell up your business to them, you still stood to your ground. So most of the businessmen, what keeps us going is not capital alone, but what keeps you going is, first, the relationship you have with people, how you approach people, how you speak to people, and are you a man of integrity?
Relationships are advantageous connections. Relationships are advantageous connections, which determines or depends on the contribution of both partners. That means both partners contribute to keep it working. General relationship. From a scriptural or from a Christian background, from a Christian standpoint, God says, love all men, be good to all men. It's one of your virtues one of your virtue value as a Christian, that you be good to all men. This is general relationship. This now, if you be able to apply this in your life, is one step of wisdom. There are so many mistakes that will be exempted from your life if you be able to know where people belong and put them there. You know, scarcity creates value. There are seasonal relationships. The second one, seasonal relationships. These seasonal relationships now is just like a maximization of the kairos moment that comes in your life. There are like kairos moments. These seasonal relationships. Sorry, saying kairos moments, most of our audience might not understand. There are two types of time in a man's life. There is the chronos and there is the kairos. Sorry for chipping it in, but I would like to, for proper understanding, let me just explain. The chronos is just the chronological passage of time. That's the normal passage of time, your normal counting of years, your routinal livings, the way you live your life. But there are kairos moments. These are moments, destiny defining moments. Destiny defining moments. Understand seasonal relationship. There are people that comes in your life. If you don't have the discernment to know that these people are needed now and they are living, you will not maximize that opportunity. There are some people, take for maybe you are in school, your roommate has one value or the other. That you are supposed to tell him, oh yeah, teach me this thing, teach me this thing. It's just 4 years you are staying with him. Or that person has a tendency of packing out anytime. And that thing he should teach you. Or that connection you might get from him. If you don't get it there, for it to come again, it might recycle. Maybe next 5 years for that kind of season to come again. Those people are seasonal relationships. You should maximize. When you meet your mentor, that maybe you relocated to another place. I'm just giving you instances of seasonal relationship. So you were privileged to meet one of those prominent or great men to mentor you. Maximize it. Learn. Maximize it. Ask your questions. Do all those things. Like Jesus told his apostle. Ask your questions. Because the bride will not be here with you. Eat now. Eat now. So this is not a relationship. They are one type of relationship. Then there are destiny relationships. They are destiny relationships. Your family are part of your destiny relationship. There are some people that are in your life. These people are playing a destiny role in your life. They call them burden bearers. Burden bearers. Most of them are burden bearers. They are destiny relationships. These people are here forever. They are here forever. But sadly enough, this kind of people are trivialized. Just like what I said, scarcity creates value. We are men, we are psychological beings. When you see that things are too much available, you will tend to trivialize it. That's why you need knowledge to understand. I will still talk about it when we talk about tips to maintaining a relationship. You need knowledge to know that this thing I'm privileged to it now. It does not mean that it's not valuable. It does not mean that it's not valuable. This destiny or covenant relationship, they are here for life. They are divine connectors. Divine connectors. These are part type of seasonal relationships. Divine connectors. It might be your house help, it might be a gate man. These kind of people, most times they don't look like it. It takes discernment and spiritual capacity to discern that this person is what I need. Just take for instance what happened in the Bible. It was a slave girl that saved somebody from the leper, that saved the leper, healed the person. A slave girl. Imagine who would have imagined that this help might come from a slave girl. There are some things. You might see a conductor holding a flyer. You don't know that this flyer is the next ticket to your life. You might tell him, please, let me see this flyer. The divine connector. You will get the flyer, read it. Okay. This is church service. You will go to church service. From here, your relationship with God has started building. These are divine connectors. Divine connectors. They are also men of influence and gifted men. This business. I'm talking to business people now. They are men of influence. When you get those people, hold them tight. They are rare. They are rare. People like us, we are rare. People like us, we are rare. Gifted men and men of influence. These men they have taken the time to stay in the cave to build themselves. It might be you that builds them, and that's the most sweetest part of it. When they are your loyalists, that's why you have to invest in men. You have to invest in men.
I am going to be teaching you sustainability in business, how to sustain your business. A business is the ability to attract and sustain or maintain customers through your value system. So the reason why people should come and patronize you is because of the value that you are offering. And the ability for you to sustain and attract these people is what is business. There is no business without a customer. So there must be someone that you are giving your value in exchange for your money. Now, how exactly can you sustain business? And one reason why people do fail business is because they don't even understand what they are trying to do. They don't understand what exactly is business. Most people venture into business because of money. Okay, how am I going to gain profit? What exactly am I going to do to gain profit? And they don't put into certain things into cognizance. For example, when starting a business, you need to understand things like your location, right? This place I am starting up a business, is it favorable to my target audience? And my target audience is going to be able to notice me in this kind of area. They don't understand competition, right? So, who are the people in my value, right? And how are these people going to affect me if I do start a business? They don't understand competition. All they understand is, let me just start up a business, let me start profits and all of that. And most of the times, when this business don't start yielding profits, immediately they are quick. Like they are quick to just stop the business because there is no profit at the end. Studying for a business, first of all, you need to have a full understanding of business itself. Like a full understanding of what business is. You have to read books about business, study the biggest business and what they are all about, and try to find a way to incorporate these things into your own business. Again, you study down to your own niche. So for example now, if you are into buying and selling, you now have to venture into that particular part of business. Because business is all about buying and selling. But you need to understand, people in my field, how were they able to get to their target audience? What did they do to get to their target audience? All of these follows in knowledge. But I understand that people, they do not have knowledge. They just venture into the business with mindset goals. Sometimes they don't even read books about business. They just look at maybe their bank accounts or something, and they realize, oh, I'm in need of money. What exactly can I do that in the next 6 months or in the next 3 months that will provide me with money? And then they say, oh, a business, what can I offer? Then they don't even care to do their research or anything. They just venture into that business. And when it fails, they are feeling frustrated. I want you to understand that if you want to sustain a business, like both in creating the business and all of that, if you want to sustain a business, the number one thing to do is have knowledge, a full understanding of what you're diving into. Business laws, business models. If you can attend business schools, do so, but you need to have a full understanding of what business is. Relationship. So I want you to first of all understand that men are channels. That is the first thing I want you to understand. Be it in business, be it in your day-to-day activities, men are channels. And until you understand this, you cannot go far. Right? Okay, so if you have a plan in the future to sustain your business, understanding of relationship is very, very, very crucial. And the most vital part, if you ask me, when it comes to sustenance in a business.
Relationship is the connection between two or more people, group or entities. One of the ways that you can nurture relationship is by having emotional intelligence. And what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify and manage your emotion and that of others. And so in your emotional intelligence, in your emotional intelligence, one of the ways you can master your emotional intelligence, one of the ways is, number one is clarity. Clarity is ability to identify what you are feeling. So many people in this world are feeling one or two emotions, but they are not able to identify the particular emotion they are feeling. They are not able to say, I am feeling this, I am feeling that. And in mastering clarity, you have to adopt the no toxic positivity outlook in life. And this means when you are feeling an emotion, you will say, I am feeling bad, I am sad, I am this, I am that. This is what they call the toxic positivity. Instead of saying, I am sad, I am feeling angry, I am angry, rather you accept that emotion and counter it. Counter the emotion with a positive words, because when you keep saying the I am angry, I am bad, you are reprogramming your conscious mind, and this will produce results, because what you inject in your conscious mind is what produces results in your subconscious mind. And so another ways to master your emotional intelligence is self-awareness. Your self-awareness is the ability to realize your emotion at the initial point. Is the ability to know that I am feeling this. Is the ability to know what you are feeling. Your self-awareness is knowing everything about you. Knowing everything from where your emotions started and how you can counter it. Your being self-aware about your emotions allows you to reduce these impulses. Some impulses that lack of emotional intelligence causes. It also allows you to create good relationship with others, because now you now know your break point. You now know what your stress, what will stress you, how you react during stress and others. Everybody on earth have a time where his emotions have a breakdown. He has a time where his emotions have a breakdown, and this time is when his emotional intelligence is being tested. So exposure therapy is the ability to subject yourself to a situation whereby your emotions is being tackled on.
How to connect the person's identity now to get what you know. Let's give an example of, let's use Christianity and Muslims. But now they are businessmen. How do they connect? Because now they have two different belief systems. They have two different spirits following them. They have two different identities following them. So how do they connect now? The first is the Christian person or the Muslim person, two of them trying to get to know that we have our separate belief systems and also we know our differences. But now, you don't need to fight the person's difference, because the person is going to try to defend it, or the person is going to try to fight you back. If you try to correct or argue the person's belief system. So the first thing you need to do as a person that wants to connect or have a relationship with someone with another kind of belief system is not to argue or not to quarrel on their belief system. So in as much as you know that they have a belief system, wrong or right, you need to leave them and their belief system and pursue what you want. So now it's much easier when it comes to someone that has the same belief system with you, because you guys can collaborate more. But unfortunately, sometimes it does not work like that. So now you still need to know the differences between this person and me. Because in as much as the person has a spirit, the person also has a mind that embodies another kind of information. The person has a mind, the person grew up in a certain environment that made the person have another kind of information that might be different from your own. Which means each and everyone on earth has their own belief systems. So now you have to try to manage your belief system, try to manage their belief system in order for all of you to connect, to have a relationship. The aim of your relationship is the first goal you need to be looking at when you're connecting with each and everyone you want to have a business with or you want to have a relationship with. So what I've been saying in this is the way you're connecting with people or the people you're connecting, first of all, don't try to fight people's belief system because they will fight you back. So all you have to do is connect it first to the goal and what you want. Because everyone has a spirit that's following the person. So you cannot start fighting people's spirit. So what you just need to do is, what is the goal of your relationship with that person? What goal do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve with that person? Having a relationship with that person. Focus more on that part. Focus more on the business you want with the person. Focus more on the relationship you have with the person. Leave the person's belief system for you guys to connect for a purpose. No, now, to make a balance, there's a difference between you're trying to change someone's belief system. That is maybe in a Christianity way and you're trying to lure the person to Christ or something like that. Then you're trying to fight the person's belief system. There is another certain way for that. You don't just go directly to fight someone's belief system, because in the study of men that we have understood when it comes to men love challenge. So if you give it to them like that, they would like to challenge you back immediately. So now that is a whole teaching on its own. Now, what I'm trying to explain is in the part of you engaging in business when it comes to men. First, knowing that men have spirits and men have their own belief systems, and you not trying to not trying to fight their own belief system to get what you want, but actually separating your belief system from the goal you want to achieve with them.
Relationship plays a very vital role when it comes to business and finance, because relationship can get to what money can. The influence of money when it comes to businesses, the influence of money when it comes to pioneering of human beings and their occupation. Relationship can actually provide what you think money can do, because it's with the help of a human you can get or have access to something. So people neglect or are being neglected of this kind of things. Relationship don't only buys or gives you access to places that your money can. It also makes you to become superior. Because it gives you a upper hand. Maybe you are not being financial born, but with the help of relationship and human resources, you can come across this thing that human being calls connection. With the help of this connection, you're able to get these things. And how is this relationship built? That is a very good question. How is this relationship built? Relationship is not built in just one day. It takes time. It takes time. And it's in this that I want to tell you. Relationship starts with you being able to relate with your human being. By first, value. Alright, let's make use of it too. When you have something to present on the table, when you have something to offer, when you have something to give in, it brings people closer to you. People will not go for something that is worthless or is not worth their time or resources. People go to where value is. For instance, like in the case of mango tree, human beings are attracted to that mango not because it's a mango tree, but because of the fruit and its benefits to their health. That is what a simple clarification on this value. An exchange. An exchange. There has to be an exchange of two things between two human beings or more. That is when value comes in. Then honor. Honor plays a very vital role in relationship, which is like a currency when it comes to business and finance. And people are negligent of this. There's a saying that goes this: you don't go to a king empty-handed. This is not only applicable to a king, it's applicable to whoever you see is worth it. Because when it comes to the believer's system, you are to share love to all men. But when it comes to building a relationship, it should be more intentional. It should be something that you do within, because you are trying to build a chain. And any mistake, it will break. This is like your a life source, whereby a time will come whereby your money will not be there for you. Your estates are not speaking. Your wealth is not there. It's the human beings that you've impacted. It's the human beings that you've partnered with that will be your saving ground. That will be your saving ground. So people just focus more on the finance and the business aspect of buying and selling when there is more to it, like relationship. Then another thing I'll be talking about is like a part of knowledge. You the ability to be aware of something, not just being aware, but it goes down from understanding it to taking action in it, and that action is known as wisdom. In the studies of books concerning businesses and finance, there is a certain body of information you're supposed to have gathered. You don't just say capital is my problem. No. Knowledge is the capital itself. Knowledge plays a very vital role, and it has been the issue of most people, because at the end of the day, when they are being given this physical cash, there's nothing to show for it. And then another thing there is that when you say you have a business or you have something like a physical structure, it has to last for a certain period of time, maximum 3 years, before you start getting return of investment. So The process for you to be able to stabilize and hold your business and take right decision on what to do and how to do it, you need knowledge, backed up by positivity, and that develops the culture of leadership.
Now, what is a mindset? A mindset is a collection of your thought patterns, your mental attitudes, your habits, and your inclinations that informs how you react to external influences. So this mindset is just like what you have accumulated in your mind, what you have, where you were growing, how you react to situations. So what you have accumulated in your mind now informs how you react to external influences and situations around you. So, and now an entrepreneurship mindset, the way of thinking that now enables you as an individual to identify opportunities, to take initiative, to be innovative, and to create value. It's a mindset that allows you that the way of thinking patterned out, the way of thinking that allows you to identify opportunities. Now, because you have this mindset of an entrepreneur, you begin to identify opportunities that comes around you. You begin to see everything as an opportunity. You take initiative, you be innovative, like you start to be innovative, start creating new things, start seeing things as opportunities. You are just creative, you just want to create new things, you just want to proffer solutions to people, and that's creating value. You want to proffer solutions to everything, you want to create an idea, you want to proffer solutions to everything. That is what an entrepreneurship mindset is. So we're looking at the traits of an entrepreneurship mindset. Now, what to say traits of an entrepreneurship mindset? One of the traits of an entrepreneurship mindset is recognizing opportunities. Now, as an entrepreneur, if you have this mindset of an entrepreneur, you begin to recognize opportunities. When you see one, you recognize it as an opportunity, then you are ready to take action. It's not that you see an opportunity and you are stagnant. So when you see opportunities, you have this feeling that you want to take that step. You are ready to take that step. So you see everything around you as an opportunity. Number two, I'll be talking about creativity and innovation. Now, as an entrepreneur, you have to be creative, you have to be innovative, you have to be you have to be a problem solver. You have to be very, very innovative, because in the world we have today, we have a lot of competitive things. We have a lot of competitive things. We have competition all around. So you have to be innovative. As the world changes, as the world adapts, as situations changes, as we move from one era to another, you have to create solutions that fits into that era and that can offer solution in that era. So you don't have to be, maybe we are, for example, we are in 2025 now. Now you are taking us back to 1990, and you are providing solutions that does not align with this dispensation and this current year. So that is creativity and innovation. Now move on to risk taking. So entrepreneurs, they are risk takers. They are risk takers. So you should be ready to take risk in everything you do. For you to start a business, you should be ready to take risk in starting up a business. An entrepreneur is someone that takes risk. Now you take calculated risk, because you don't need to take risks and you lose everything. You need to structure your mind. You need to be calculative when taking this risk, so that you will not end up losing everything you have. So you need to take calculated risks and think very well. You have to be logical in your thinking before you take any risk at all. So the first one I'll be talking on is resilience. Now resilience is that aspect, is that ability for you to stand, for you to face any challenges at all. So at the face of challenges, you stand. Like nothing shakes you. Even if you lose, even if you are not doing well, you are ready to face that challenge, because you just recognize this as an opportunity for you to grow, and you see it as a ladder for you to climb higher. So when you face this challenge, they make you strong. Maybe you can stand in the face of adversity. You can stand in the face of adversity. Nothing move you, nothing shake you, because you see it as a positive something that will take you to a stage that you are actually going to excel, and you're going to beat everything. So you are not just stagnant, and you don't have this negative mindset of you being in a stagnant place. So resilience is what makes you stand very firm even in the face of adversity.
Two people can come across a piece of information and they will get two different interpretations. And when it comes to relationship, you have to first of all understand that this is the way the money works. This is the only way money works. Understand that first of all, it is your relationship that brings about the value that you give, that brings about the money that you have. Understand that it follows this scheme. You get that? So let's think. So the relationships you need to keep. You already have to understand that you have relationships with poor people. What does that mean? You give a poor value, and what does that mean? Your finance will be poor. If you are in a relationship with great men, what does that mean? You will give great value. You give something tangible, and what does that mean for your finance? You know by yourself. Now you need to understand that even if you don't have the great men that you want around yourself in your networks, even if you don't have them around you, understand that we are all spirits that will just transition. Nobody is dead, everybody is alive. We only transit into realms. Now, the dead men that are great that you want, Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, people that you want, people of influence, Michael Jackson, you can bring them to your existence. Christ, the greatest leader of the world and the greatest businessman of all, the Jesus Christ himself. These are men you can call to your own domain to be able to discuss with them and have them as your network. And what would that bring about? In better value. And what would that bring about for your finance? You already know where I'm going with this. So how do you do that? I don't have time, so I'll just be dropping some information. Okay? So for the dead men, you can start with books. Understand that books are just words, and words are forms of thought. So when you are reading the book of Napoleon Hill, you are reading the thoughts of Napoleon Hill, and it's like you are discussing with Napoleon Hill. Do you understand that? So whenever you are reading books, do not read it anyhow. Eat them, and by eating them, interact with these men. And of course, you are building a relationship. One of my mentors used to say that he will scatter books of these men around him, and he will lie beside the bed and be imagining himself, discussing with these men. You need to use your imagination and bring forth these men. Get their pictures, bring forth them before you sleep. Napoleon Hill is the man that has mastered this. Due to time, we don't have time. So, okay, the second person you need to have a relationship with is yourself. A business will only get to review you, yourself. Dear CEO, dear king, your country, dear minister, your members, your business will only get to reflect your level of transition, your mindset. You need to be careful of your mental dialogue. Who do you see yourself as? What do you call yourself? Then that's your self-conception. How do you interact with yourself? What are the things you tell yourself to yourself? You need to understand that each time you're having a mental dialogue and you are not in charge of it. I love this quote by Carl Jung. If the world will always ask you who you are, and when you don't have an answer, the world will tell you. You need to be able to tell who you are. Oh, okay, let's go to the next one. The next person you need to have a relationship with is men. Men. Now, you have to decide everything to start with the mind. So even when it comes to men, you have to start with mental dialogue. The conversation it shouldn't be how they put it by accident. It shouldn't be random. You should decide the expectation of the conversation you have with people. Some people I know that you have had maybe an argument with someone in your head, and next thing, when you met that person, you guys were beefing, something like that. It happens all the time. So you have to understand that your mood and your mental attitude to people in your mind will always bring about the result. So you have to use your imagination to call forth that which you want. Dear King, call forth your members, sit them down, see them do what you want them to do. Dear CEO, call forth your employee, call forth your clients, sit them down, imagine them, bring a seat. Oh, I love what my mentor used to tell us. He said, bring a seat in front of you, imagine that which you want, sit the person down and discuss with the person. So that's why imagination, you must have an expectation in your mind. Business now, we're talking about value. My mentor says business is just the ability to get a customer and keep a customer. How do you do that? Give them value. Let me tell you something. Do you know that business is a system that is maximizing the spiritual law called the law of giving and receiving? Imagine someone sat down and noted down the spiritual law called giving and receiving. Whatever you give comes to you. Built a system around it so that you keep giving and keep receiving. Press down 100-fold. People buy things. Everybody do things because of emotion.
The best thing that will happen to your business is your business growing with speed. The most effective speed factor of business is branding. You need to understand that. The thing that makes your business a worthwhile business is the perception around that business. So now, what is a brand? A brand is the word
or knowledge of your product or idea in the minds of the customer. So when I look at a Mercedes-Benz, what comes to my mind is luxury. When I look at a Toyota, what comes to my mind? Reliability. When I look at Zenith Bank, what comes to my mind? This is growth. When I look at First Bank, what comes to my mind? It's legacy. So you see, what makes a brand is what it represents to a customer. So when we are talking about branding, we are talking about the act of building a perception around the product. So the things that I will do to make this product ring these attributes in your head is what I call branding. Branding is entirely different from marketing, because marketing is now building that brand. So when I have built an attribute around a product I produced, I market it. That means I am now building the brand so that people can now see it. So now today we'll be talking on, I think I'll just give you 6 laws on branding. 6 key laws on branding. Number 1, the law of expansion. Many businessmen, many companies, many so-called brands miss it here. Expansion. Please, it's so painful to say it, but the more you expand your business, the more less you become. The more powerless you become. Because people know you for one thing. You diving from that thing you become, you have impressed into the heart of people to other things, is what destroys you. The reason why some of these Japanese companies are not one of the prime companies in the world today is because of the understanding of this expansion. Companies like Haida, these Chinese companies, these Japanese companies are companies who produce excellent and marvelous products. But because they have used their name and expand it on the cars, on the television, on this, so everywhere you go, everywhere you go, you see Hyson everywhere. You see Hyson TV, you see Hyson refrigerator. That thing you are doing, you are just killing your brand. You don't expand a brand. When you build something to become an establishment, a ringment in people's mind, leave it there. If you want to build another thing, build another brand. Don't build it upon a brand. Imagine when you see let's say Zenith rooms. What rings on your head is different. There are a lot of investments, there are a lot of business Zenith Bank owns, but they cannot register it on their name. They register it on another name. That brings me to the second law, contraction. Contraction.
T-shirts, Papa.
If you did not expand if you have expanded your brand, please contract it. One thing I love about this name, Heineken, is because anytime you see Heineken, it remains Heineken. Heineken is a beer, the first imported beer. Is a beer, and will continue to become what? A beer. Microsoft is a company that produces operating systems, and we continue to do what? Be giving operating systems. Google is a search engine, and we continue to do what? Be a search engine. When you build a business, contract it to a niche, to a place, because if you are in a niche, you can be able to discover, you can be able to see in depth of the problems in a niche.